All right, a school is comparing average weekly study hours between AP Stats and AP Calc students. 2 independent random samples are taken. And it even says assume the conditions are met, but if we had to check it, we can see right here 2 independent random samples were taken, so on and so on, okay? So here we've checked the conditions. We're ready to make a null hypothesis. So my null hypothesis is going to be that the students study the same, okay? So US minus UC equals 0. My alternative hypothesis is going to be that US minus, now let's think about which tail it goes. It's arguing that AP Stats study less, so it should be left tail, shouldn't it? Right? Less than 0, okay? Good. And now we proceed with our critical value, right? Which is always our T star, okay? And I like to make my picture right here. That does help. And we're going to assume 5%, okay? A equals 5 because we always assume that unless stated otherwise. So this is only a left tail test, so I only do the left 5%, okay? And now I'm going to get my T value using inverse T, okay? So second vars, inverse T, right? And then I get 0.05. How many degrees of freedom do I have? I'm going to say 17, right? So negative 1.74, okay? So this is my, right here I put negative 1.74. And now I'm ready for my test statistic, right? Test statistic. So that's going to be the difference of the means, right? Difference of the means, 6.1 minus 7, right? All over the standard error. So the standard error is going to be, we just got to look carefully, 1.4 squared, right, over 18. So 1.4 squared plus 1.6 squared over 20, right? Okay, so even this, we just got to be efficient with the calculator with it, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to put math, left arrow, enter, 6.1 minus 7. Then I go here, second square root. So that's what you want to do, right? Be efficient with it. And so I get negative 1.849, right? So this is in my rejection region, right? So I reject it. So we reject our null, right? There is enough evidence to conclude that the true mean study time of stat students is less than the true mean study time of calc students, right? Okay? All right. Now we have the same conditions. Now here it says, is there any evidence that the average weekly study hours are different between? So you see, in this case, everything else is the same except my null hypothesis is going to be US minus UC equals 0. It just says different, doesn't it? So in this case, it's the same exact problem. Okay, it just says different, as you can see. So then I have US minus UC is less than 0. Sorry, is unequal to 0, okay? So this is where it becomes a two-tailed for this reason, okay? Because it's the unequal part. So I have 5%, so I could have 2.5% here, right? And 2.5% here. And now I do my inverse T, okay? So I go to inverse t. And I'm going to put 0.975, right? And how many degrees of freedom do I have? I still have 17. Yes, I do. So this time I have 2.11 and negative 2.11, right? 2.11, negative 2.11, right? And so I still do my t statistic. We've already done it, but let's do it again. So 6.1 minus 7 over square root of same thing. We get negative 1.849. Now in this case, that's going to be right here, right? So we fail to reject our null hypothesis. So our conclusion is we fail, right, to reject our null. There's not, right, enough evidence to conclude that AP stat students study less than AP Calc students, right? And we can just say this. Okay? Now, we can also turn this into a p-value, right? Because when I get my test statistic is negative 1.849, what that's saying is that I have negative infinity right here, and this is negative 1.849, okay? Because we're in the t world. So then I go to to get my p-value, I go to my inverse, I go to my varsity CDF, right? And I'm going to say negative 999999999 all the way to negative 1.849. And degrees of freedom is 17. So I can get my p-value this way, okay? So 0.040, right? So then we would reject our null hypothesis because that's less than 0.05, okay? Now how about here? How do I get my p-value here? Well, it's a two-tail test, right? And what did I get so I got negative 1.89. So what it means is I need to go negative infinity here. This right here is negative 1.849, right? So you can just double it because we also have to go in this direction, okay? 1.849 to infinity. So that's what the p-value is. The p-value is going from the t world to the p world, okay? So now I do this, same thing, second varsity. I go to this. If I want to get my p-value, right? Yep, I go here to negative 1.849, right? But this time I have to double it, right? Because it's in two regions. So that's why we can say we failed to reject it, okay? So my p-value equals 0.0819, okay? So that's greater than 0.05, so we fail to reject our null hypothesis, okay? Good job.